this is kind of like the latte problem, right? But it's a burger problem.
It's a burger.
And the whole goal, if you guys are at home sick today, is to understand remainders. And for you guys in class, same thing, right? So this is the latte problem in disguise. So when you read a problem like this, we know that it's kind of like a smash burger where they make the same size burgers all the time. So in this problem, it takes 1/4 pound of beef to make a burger, and for each amount below, so like for example, part A, we want to figure out how many burgers we can make and then how much is left over. So in part A, if we start with 3 1/8 pounds of beef, what do I have to do, Michaela?
So you have to put 3 1/8 divided by 1.
I have to take my 3 1/8, and I'm going to make this a division problem because I'm taking out a fourth over and over and over and over. When you take the sum number, when you subtract the same number over and over, it's the division problem. So I'm going to divide by a fourth. So what happens next there?
Well, then you have to make even denominators.
Even denominators, common denominators, so we're going to multiply by 2.
Yeah.
So that's really 2/8, right? So 3 1/8 divided by 2/8, so keep going.
And then you have to times 3 times 8.
Right. So
And add 24.
change the mix to an improper, so that's 3 times 8, 24 plus 1 is 25/8 divided by 2/8.
Yeah. And then divide 2 and 25.
So make a division problem with the 25 divided by 2, and that gives me 12 1/2. Do you know what that means? So that tells us enough to answer the question, but we haven't answered the question. So we want to figure out how many burgers can we make. So how many whole burgers can we make, Isabel? You can make 12 whole burgers. Okay, so that's part of the 12 whole burgers. What else? And then we have to figure out what's left, right? So we have enough meat left to make half of another burger, right? Does that make sense? So how many pounds is that? Yeah, what would you get? It's not 1/12, because how much does it cost? How much meat do you need to make a burger? 1/4 pound, right? And you only have half of that. So we have half of 1/4 pound. That's how much we have left. So how do you do that, Isabel? Yeah, you multiply. So that's 1/2 times 1/4, because that's what we have left, which is 1/8 of a pound left. So that's how much we have left, and that's how many burgers we can make. And that's how you answer the question. You would either, you could write a sentence, I could make 12 burgers and I'd have 1/8 of a pound left.
So the answer to the question isn't how many burgers you can make, but how...
It's how many burgers can you make and how much meat is left. So if you said 12 1/2 and circled that as your answer, that's not right. Right? That's just this is just like the beginning of getting your answer.
I see.
Okay? So let's try this one here.
Did some people start C?
Yeah, C's pretty easy. I think if you got B, maybe we don't really need. yeah, do C really quick, and then if you finish that, look at the homework. But can I have a volunteer explain B? You want to try it? Start it, and then maybe get the second part. What would you do, Sophie?
Well, first I would take,
So now we're starting with this much meat.
I would take 3 1/3 and 1/4, and I would find a common denominator.
Because you're going to divide them? Okay. So 12ths, then? Because I would have to multiply this by 4 and multiply this by 3, right? Yes. So then this is 3 and 4/12 divided by 3/12. So keep going there.
And then you have to turn 3 and 4/12 into
Improper.
yeah.
Okay, so that's 36 plus 4, 40/12 divided by 3. Look at the board's going crazy again. That's not,
That's 40.
that was a 12, but 3/12. So,
40 over.
so that's 40 over 3. Okay, so Oliver, you got pretty good at this part. What does that mean? That's 13 1/3. What does it mean?
Oh, that means you can make 13 and 1/3 of a burger.
You can make how many whole burgers?
13 and 1/3.
So how many of them are burgers?
13.
You can make 13 whole burgers, right?
Yeah. You have 1/3 of a burger left.
Right. So you have enough meat for 1/3 of a burger. So how much meat is left?
You have to multiply 1/3 by 1/4,
Right.
which is 1/12. Pound left.
Right. So that's 1/3 times 1/4, because it takes 1/4 of a pound for a burger. So you have 1/12 of a pound of meat left. Okay, so 2-part answer. That's how much you have left. And that's how many burgers you can make. What happened when you did the next one, Jason?
I got a whole number.
It turned out to be a whole number.
Like the last one.
Yeah,
It's the last.
it was an easier run, right? Because if you start with 10 1/2 and you divide by 1/4, the board sure is a little weird today. This is 10 2/4 divided by 1/4, which is 40 2/4 divided by 1/4. So 42 divided by 1 is just 42 burgers. Nothing left over. Okay? So when you guys do your homework tonight, I want to make sure you understand on problem 3, it's not asking you to do the remainder interpretation. It's just asking you how many whole things you can make. And you're going to do 3A, 3C, 3E, and 3F. But when you get to 11, 12, and 13, it's asking you to do all of this. How many whole things and what's the leftover? Isabel?
For letter C, I got 43.
Oh, you must have just multiplied wrong. Did you have 10 1/2 divided by 1/4? So 2 times 10 is 20. I mean, I changed it to 2/4. So 4 times 10 is 40, plus 2 is 42. Okay. So I'll